As a Christian, we have our Bible.
Yeah. Bro, Trump's doing God's work. He's a very brave man doing God's work.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. So Donald Trump, marketed as a lesser of two evils depending on who you talk to, became the American president again a few days ago. To be completely honest, he did have a stronger campaign which seemed to appeal to Muslim Americans also.
The people that voted for us, they came from all quarters: African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American.
Another supposed Muslim that seemed to be involved in promoting Trump's political ambitions was Andrew Tate. Let's take a look at him and former mob boss Michael Franzese doing their part marketing Donald Trump.
So America's just got to the point now where everyone is trying to protect their profits as opposed to protect the country. And this is what Trump's so amazing at, is putting America first genuinely. America first over everything else. Do you think once China's in charge, they're going to be nice to us?
Absolutely not.
You think we're going to ever have a chance to get first place back?
Never.
Or do you think they're going to crush us ruthlessly?
It's over at that point.
Bro, Trump's doing God's work. He's a very brave man doing God's work, trying to save the country he loves, because he understands once America falls, the entire world is going to be different. And there's a attitude typically in the West about innocent till proven guilty and individualism and that person must be proven guilty. There's a lot of legal systems where the sanctity of the state and the idea that the state doesn't make mistakes is more important than an individual liberty. There are legal systems where they say, Japan, which is a first world nation, is our ally. They have a 98% conviction rate. They're saying making the state look like they got something wrong would do more damage to society than we can accept. So innocent people sometimes just go to jail. That's just how they view it. That's a collectivist mindset. And that's what China's like. That's what a lot of these countries are like. When we lose American individualism, that's what's going to come, which brings us further down the slave programming. And I'll tell you who they'll come for first: the people who talk. I mean, that's who they're going to come for first. They're going to come for anyone who sticks their head up. They're already doing that.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get rid of anyone who speaks about the symptoms as opposed to fix any diseases, because the disease is contingent and important for them to be able to continue to steal. And that's all they want to do is just rob. And it feels like America is just getting used while they, I mean, I don't have any proof of this, but the Middle East is getting more powerful. Certain countries in Africa, certain countries in South America, the global South, the second world nations are getting more and more and more powerful. I feel like they're just going to rip America till it burns and just try and make someone else in charge.
It's obvious that this two guys chatting on a bench exercise was part of the PR campaign to get Trump elected. And although I was happy that Kamala lost due to her part in the Gaza genocide, it doesn't give me any happiness that Trump won either. However, I think Muslims voted for Trump in the hope he makes changes. And although I still feel that is unlikely, let's wait and see. Andrew Tate, for all his preaching of masculinity, simping for another man like he is Trump's minion was, well, not very masculine. We all know by now Andrew Tate is a salesman, but his Muslim identity seems to be non-existent these days. Maybe it's just not good for business right now. He spoke like an American patriot, despite living in Romania, as well as he and his brother having previously claimed they consider themselves more British than American. And although Tate has always endorsed Trump, I honestly think he made a deal with the US president that consisted of his legal troubles being resolved in exchange for promoting Trump to get elected. I'm not shaming Tate if that is the case, as he's just trying to survive, as Donald Trump does have a history of pardoning people who have committed crimes, as well as assisting Americans overseas ease their legal woes. However, as a Muslim, I'm calling out Tate for saying, and I quote, Trump's doing God's work. This is yet another statement of kufr or disbelief. Trump is a cultural Christian that probably doesn't even worship God, and if he did, he would probably be worshipping Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, as God. A Muslim should never state that a non-Muslim is doing God's work. Although I do concede that Donald Trump becoming president is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I would never go as far as to say he represents God. Andrew also said Donald Trump is America first. Really? How so when he threatened American citizens who oppose Israel with deportation?
If you want to eliminate Israel, then we don't want you in our country. We really don't want you in our country.
Even Muslim Trump supporters will quote by saying Trump bowing to Israel was just a strategy to get elected, as if they can telepathically read his mind. Is it just me, or was Tate just rambling at times and not making much sense, especially regarding his points about other countries trying to rob and steal from America? It's actually the opposite. America has invaded and stolen from so many other nations, especially Muslim ones. Tate mentioned places like the Middle East, Africa, China, and South America as possible perpetrators, but failed to mention the only country that has actually been bleeding America dry for decades, and that is Israel. Let's take a look at the next clip where Tate states he is now part of the matrix he used to oppose, as well as accepting Michael Franzesi's version of Christianity.
And now look at what we have in America. There are people who hate America, in America, who want to see America burn, or at least change it so drastically it's not America anymore. And these are the people that are going to destroy America much more before China or Russia or Iran do. It's going to be the people inside of the nation. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to fall in real time. You go to fight in Afghanistan for 4 or 5, 6 years, you come home, vote, they rig it. I mean, I love America and I love the West, but even I can't with good conscience tell anyone to go die in that military now. For what? Yeah. Especially when you're not even defending the shores of your country. We're sending our people to die for banks, God knows where. I grew up in England. I'm born in America, I grew up in England. Our ideals are moral. Protection is moral. Preventing bad things happening to the people who are already in the country is moral. Preventing a breakdown of services is moral. Making sure the people who tried to get into America legally and followed the system are rewarded is moral. Law and order, these things are moral. You need to have these things. It's actually immoral to say that all the rules can constantly be broken.
As a Christian, we have our Bible.
Yeah.
America doesn't exist. You can't find it anywhere. What do you think happens? It doesn't exist. And you know, I look biblically, I said maybe this is the pattern and this is the beginning of the real destruction and downfall of America.
I've heard that from a lot of people. There's a beautiful poem. It's an Arabic poem, and I don't know it word for word. And I can't even quote who made it. I think it was a warlord or a king, but he said, stress is mine, happiness is yours. Pain is mine, joy is yours. But you are mine. And he's like, I suffer, and you get the good side of my suffering, but you're mine. And that's the masculine essence in the first place. That's the reason. I mean, look at Christmas Day. Dad gets the worst presents. Exactly. He gives the presents.
He gets a tie.
That's right. That's what men are supposed to do.
Again, Tate spoke like an American patriot, similar to how he posed as a British nationalist during the UK riots this summer. He referred to his people being sent to fight wars on behalf of the banks to God knows where, as he put it. The banks are owned by Zionists, and currently the US military, who he refers to as his people, are being sent to places like Lebanon and Palestine, who, if you're a Muslim, should actually be your people because the majority of them are also Muslims. But hey, you can't force people to change what's in their hearts. Andrew talking about law and order in mainstream Western society as being morally superior is in direct contradiction to his previous anti-establishment matrix rhetoric he used to market his courses and services over the years. But even if we put all that aside, because granted people do change their views, the thing that stood out to me was when Michael Franzesi referred to, and once again I quote, our Bible, which Tate just agreed with by saying, yeah. He made no reference to the Qur'an or Islam, he just quoted some Persian poem and then immediately followed that up with speaking about celebrating the Christian religious holiday of Christmas. This is not a bash Tate video, as he is far from a religious role model. The purpose of this video is to inform Muslims not to put faith in online personalities like Andrew Tate, who morphs into whatever suits the occasion, or politicians like Donald Trump, who despite his promises to stop all wars, has also made some very questionable comments concerning Muslims and Islam in the past. If Trump does stop the genocide in Gaza, I will be the first to give him credit. Until then, it's just empty promises. Let's not get caught up in the hype and remember our people over there still need our help. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this. And remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.